I'm Marcus.
And I'm Nick.
We are working class nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right. We are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is Thursday, Revenge of the 6th, 2021, and you can find this 105 podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, blah, blah, and blah, blah. In the galaxy, find us. You can come watch me fail at video games at twitch.tv/MarcusB814. And now you can watch Nick stream at twitch.tv/NickByrne51. You can find the both of us on Twitter. I am at MarcusB814.
And I'm at Nick Vern. That's NICKVERN. In this week's episode, we're joined by the sexiest variety streamer on Twitch. We're talking about Atrax. And the three of us are talking about what it's like to be a variety game streamer. And also, of course, the Bad Batch has arrived. So we're going to be breaking down the first episode, which was like an hour and 20 minutes, which was great. But first, welcome to the show, Atrax, and what have you been up to?
Welcome!
Wow, thank you. That's quite an intro. I appreciate it. Lately, all right then.
Perry the platypus is in the studio.
Yeah,
What's a platypus?
Yeah. Who let the fangirls in? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I usually stream Friday to Monday. I do variety streams like you mentioned, Nick. So, I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But lately it's been Destiny 2, the Star Wars pinball tables for, of course, Star Wars Week. And then another kind of indie early access game called Gunfire Reborn. Been enjoying Star Wars Week a lot. Bad Batch, of course. Then there was the Guardians of the Order charity. They donated... or they raised over $6,000 for St. Jude, which was...
I forget what... I don't know the exact total, but I saw it was over 6K.
Yeah, last time I checked, it was like 620. So it was really, really job well done on them. And today, Director Chronic, he shaved his stash off. Swotor Rayu, another streamer friend of mine, he shaved his head. So, yeah, it's been a packed week. And then, of course, like gaming off stream, I play Darkest Dungeon. And then Stepmania, which is like a rhythm game. And
so like Dance Revolution?
Yeah, but on the computer.
So you're dancing on the computer?
Well, you use the arrow keys. Yeah, you can plug in if you have, which I don't, but if you have like actual dance pads, you can plug them into your computer and you can use those too. If
you send me your address, I'm going to send you a Dance Revolution one. Because I'd like to see that on stream.
Dance Revolution.
I have like really old. I'll send you the link, Marcus. I have like really old YouTube videos of me on. They're like 10 years old at this point of when I was a teenager playing at the arcade. Like it good times, man. Dance games are a huge like history.
Wait. So you were one of those people that could do it on the insane difficulty?
Oh yeah.
Wait, so do you remember? Wait. So are you the kid that was on the movie Grandma's Boy?
I didn't see that. I didn't see the whole movie. Like it's been a while since I've seen it. I don't remember that.
It's been a long time for me either, but yes.
Yes, that would be me. That was me as a kid. And I guess still kind of now, but because arcades are closed with COVID and all that, I haven't been able to play in a few years. So.
Whoa. Well, I haven't played Dance Revolution in forever. I think I played it like 3 times and I was like pouring sweat and I was like, all right, I'm going back to Mortal Kombat 2.
It's such a great game. Like all those dancing games it's exercise and it's fun. It's a good mix.
Yes. Yeah. So, back to Darkest Dungeon. Is that like what's it? Diablo style game?
No. Kind of in the sense that it's an RPG. So it's a little bit more unforgiving. So it's a 2D like side scroller game, and it's a dungeon crawler. You have a team of 4 heroes, and they go through these dungeons, and there's creatures that are in there, but there's also like rewards and stuff. But what separates it from like Diablo would be that your characters are almost like supposed to die. Like there's a very, very low chance, unless you're a really good player, that you're going to make it through your dungeon with all 4 characters. And when they're dead, they're gone for good. And you have to recruit new ones after the end of the dungeon with like the resources and stuff you gained from your remaining heroes. It's very unforgiving. Yeah, it's a brutal game. A lot of fun.
Jeez. I can't really.
Marcus doesn't do well with like permadeath and like limited resources.
Yeah, so
weapons breaking.
But so that's the thing. Is like, but I nightmare raid.
Right.
Yeah, but that's different though. You don't like
That's
lose
a
your
different
gearing.
type of difficulty. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have your character, your tune, and your gear, and you're going through. It's like the same sort of tools, if you will, but then like the task is much more difficult.
Yeah. So
versus like your tools changing, like your characters in this game, or like weapons in Breath of the Wild changing constantly.
Oh, it's the dumbest
drives
thing
you
ever.
crazy.
It's the dumbest mechanic ever.
Yeah. Whereas like the task is largely the same. You're fighting like the same.
Yeah, or like in that's the worst game ever created, the Fallout series, where you have a
good though.
Dude,
yeah, I agree. I love it.
It's the worst game ever created.
You can't deal with
You zoom in on somebody's head and you put 3 bullets to his head, and you shoot that dude in the head 3 times and you do 1 damage and then he kills you because your gun sucks. I'm like, no, you shoot somebody in the head, they're dead. It's just game over. Like that VAT system is dumb.
I love
you would
it.
like Counter-Strike.
No, I tried to play
One shot to the head, you're dead.
Yeah. So back in the day, with Call of Duties, we used to play. Some of our friends really liked the hardcore, and I was like, it's a hard no for me. Like if I can't pray and spray and run around, I am not interested in playing this mode. Like
That's
I don't. Fair. Yeah, I guess I'm like more of an arcade style game player.
Yeah.
Like I like the fun of it. I like some challenge, but I don't like when I played Fallen Order. What did I play it on? I played it on normal, and that was enough challenge, but it was easy enough. You know what I mean? I still wiped.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Like I think I wiped like 7,000 times on that big, not Second Sister, but one of the Inquisitors. Remember the really big guy, Kashyyyk?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. That was a tough fight.
Dude, that fight was tough as shit because he was so strong.
That fight and the fight on the boss on Dathomir.
Can I ask you, Marcus, how long did it take you to beat the game?
A long time.
Well, it's hard for me to answer that because I play other games other than SWTOR very, very, very slowly.
Like seldomly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But like once every 2 weeks you'll get a session in or something like that.
Where Twitch has really helped me with that because, well, in the beginning, because I would play different games.
Yeah.
But then I changed my motto, whatever. Anyway.
Your like formula.
My formula, yes.
Yeah.
And I find that now, like when I get to play a different game, I appreciate it more. But I've come to the understanding that if it's not a Star Wars game, meh.
I get what you're saying. It doesn't like
That's fair.
really grab you.
You know, other than Mass Effect. So when the Mass Effect Legendary Edition comes out, I am playing that game. I don't like. I played Mass Effect 2 6 times, complete. I love that game. Love everything about it. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's not as much RPG as Mass Effect 1," but I loved Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 3, the story was good. I didn't like how they changed some of the gameplay. I felt like Mass Effect 2 is better than 3 in their gameplay mechanics.
Agreed. I thought so too.
You know, like they tried to make it too much like Gears of War running.
Yeah.
Like you're crouched down running through the world in that like that motion blur. I always turn that shit off. But like what I'm really looking forward to is Mass Effect 1 remake.
Right. Because that game, the graphic jump from like 1 to 2 is just like brutal.
I'm such a high maintenance hoe when it comes to graphics. Like I don't want to play a game at 480p. Like the game can be great. Like KOTOR. KOTOR is one of the best games ever made. I can't play it again. I played it the last time I played it.
Too.
Yeah, that's rough also.
Yeah, like I can't do it.
Yeah.
But I can I can get down. Like I played so when I went on vacation, I played KOTOR on my iPad because it was $10 and it was easy and like you just point and click and it was fine. Like I didn't beat it, but it was playable. And I could deal with the crappy graphics, but it's really hard to play a game that's old now to me.
Especially on your nice PC.
Right. But then again, I play a 10-year-old MMO, but I think that game is like at the cusp of my that's like pretty enough to where I can enjoy it. Where like World of Warcraft, I think just looks like shit. It looks like it's a 1986 game to me.
That's
So
interesting.
yeah, like I think it's just a cartoony style, and it's very blocky.
I feel the opposite. I feel that WoW looks a little bit more polished than SWTOR does. But maybe that's just because I've only played the new content. I haven't played like I don't play Classic and stuff like that. I just played like Shadowlands and BFA and Legion, all that stuff,
See, anyway.
But then again, that's just personal taste at that point.
Right. But like Fallen Order, it took me, oh man, how long did it take me to play it? I played it.
You played it way, like I beat it for a long time, and then you finally played it.
Can you check your Steam hours?
I played it on Origin.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's the thing is when it first came out, it wasn't on Steam.
Right.
So I bought it on Origin. But anyway, I loved it, and I'm a sucker for Star Wars content. That's my point I'm trying to make is like that's where I kind of changed my view on streaming.
Right.
And anyway, but back to what you were saying about your like with the games you're streaming. What do you think about Destiny 2?
I'm pretty new, like to Destiny 2. I played Destiny 1 on launch, and I was actually really disappointed with the Destiny 1 launch. So I played Destiny 2 a little bit at the beginning, and then I dipped out until now. And the community, actually, I put it up. I beat Fallen Order in 19 hours, which I thought was going to take me a lot longer than that. So I beat Fallen Order, and then I was like, well, shoot, what do I do now? So I put it to the community, and they voted for Destiny 2. I haven't streamed it yet, but I've played it off stream to kind of prepare and get all the overlays and stuff ready. I like it, but I'm interested to see what happens in the late game. Right now, it feels very much like already I just started the game and I'm doing like strikes and nightfall stuff as like the tutorial. So I'm wondering how it will change.
It doesn't.
Like for me, story. Why it doesn't? That's a little disappointing to me. I'll have to see how the community feels and whatnot. I never stream a game. I like to complete games, and I think we'll get into this a little bit later in the show too.
Well, but for me, the story. Okay, so when Destiny came out, they had their original Destiny 2. They had their original content storylines, right?
Yeah,
the Cabal and all that shit. And I played it at launch, and I played a little bit, but I didn't have anybody to play with, and it got to a point like I don't like to run out of bullets. I think running out of bullet mechanic is just the dumbest thing ever. Like some people like to pray and spray, some people like to sniper shoot, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm a pray and sprayer, and like I got to this point where I spent hours trying to beat this one section where there were so many enemies I couldn't do it alone, and I didn't have any friends playing it, and I quit. And I came back a while later and played it, but because they announced that they were getting rid of all of the OG content. They were putting it in the archives because now the game download size was getting too big.
Yeah.
So they were like, all right,
the Unreal Engine, or is it Unreal? It's too big for the engine that they're using.
I can't answer that part, but they were archiving it. But the sad part is you can't even unlock it, because I think like the story, as much as people say like the end game is why you play the game, I disagree. I think you do the end game to extend the game's life. But for me, I play a game for the story, and then the end game comes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I have a completely different view. To me, end game means it's the end of the game. It's time to move on. Like I get that it changes where it's like, oh, now you grind for all of this. But like with SWTOR, I love the story, but then you get to this end game wall where it's like you grind flashpoints to get numbers for stats for PvP. And I was like, And for me, end game is like just, all right, time to move on.
Well, and that means you're a story based. You're mostly a story player. Unless you're playing like a Call of Duty, then that's a different
Unless I'm
story.
playing with friends. Yeah, that changes it.
Well, yeah. So the last thing before we move on, so Nick and I can do, can you drop Nick and I a rap, please?
Oh my goodness. You want a rap? I don't know.
Of course.
I want to hear a rap.
Find a beat while we're chatting.
Oh my goodness. Find
Hold
a
on
beat while we're chatting. Okay.
Take your time.
My goodness. How long does this have to be?
Not
Can it
long
just
at
be
all.
like,
just,
a couple.
yeah,
all
just,
right.
Yeah, let's just
10
spit some
seconds?
beats. Yeah, like let's hear
20 seconds.
Let's hear this rap that's this infamous.
Oh
if
my
it turns
goodness.
if it turns into
Chicka chicka Atrax.
Yeah.
Marcus used to DJ, and I did it a couple times.
Did you?
Yeah, I played drum and bass and hard trance. I watched people melt their faces off with laser beams above my head. Anyway.
Also, shout out to Chimeri for the rap tips.
Chimeri, you and I are going to be having a discussion right after this recording. he's not even going to know. He's going to be like, dude, I didn't hear, like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, the podcast isn't out yet, but it's going to be, and you're going to
it'll
hear
be out.
He'll hear it. He'll probably hear it tomorrow on his way to work.
Right.
But anyway, so back to what we were saying about games. While Atrax figures out his rap game.
Wait, do you want to chat about what you've been up to?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I want to wait for the rap game. But
okay. All right. Okay.
I want to go back to this game. I got yelled at. No, you didn't. There was no yelled at. The magical part about the like Destiny MMO division, like that style of game, I feel is if you can get hooked up with a bunch of friends that play a lot, you like it's some serious fun. Cause like what did we play co-op?
Siege?
Yes. Like how much fun did we have playing Siege? And
Siege
like
is great.
yeah, it was 4v4 and like yeah, we only had
5v5.
It's 5?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 4. Well, it was 3 of us.
Yeah.
So like everybody else just followed us where we were going.
Right.
But like working together as a team to achieve a win
is awesome.
I find it it's so much fun, and I guess that's why I like raiding so much.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't like zombies in Call of Duty.
Again, limited ammo.
Not in this one. This one it's fine. I've never run out of ammo.
But you don't.
This is how I'm roping you back in.
No.
Tick, 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 tick. Especially the Outbreak mode where the zombies aren't constantly chasing you. You can like go around and find shit.
Well, so that sounds fun. So I would like to try that.
Yeah.
And I guess we should really like hook up with Katarina and do it because she straight up wins war zones.
Dude, Outbreak is wicked fun. Feta and I do that with Feta's friend, my friend too now, Yarden and his brother.
Yaden.
And it's great. We get to like pack a punch like our guns like 3 times. We get to like this preposterous thing where the pack a punch guns are like barely killing stuff by the end, and then you exfil and like all the zombies run at you. It's like a war zone sized map. Each map, it's pretty epic. And then you get out of there in a helicopter, and it's like they nuke the place. Boom! It's wicked fun. But you should definitely play Outbreak. I've talked about it a bunch. I haven't played Outbreak in a while, actually. Maybe I will after this show.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds that sounds intriguing to me because it's almost like you have to go and land and then come back. You know what I mean? Like you go find your gear. It's almost like a war zone, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you turn the corner and there's 30 zombies there.
Yeah, and then you got to deal with them in front of you, and then like you kill them, and then you go to the next little section of the map.
Do they break into the buildings? If you run into a building?
If you run into a building, they're like they might already be in the building just wandering around in there.
Oh.
So like it's a giant map, and then you just stumble over. It's like The Walking Dead kind of thing. Like the zombies are just out in the environment and you just happen upon them. But like once they see you, it's not like the entire horde and the whole map sees you. Like in like a normal zombies mode where they're constantly running at you.
Yes.
It's like if you alert them, then they'll be running at you. But then there's challenges to get you more points so you can buy guns and stuff and upgrade them. And like one challenge is like basically you have to kill zombies, wait for them to be like really close to you, or like wait for them to be in this circle, and then a dragon eats them.
Whoa, dragon?
Yeah, it's like a dragon attached to like a space shuttle. It's just like ridiculous.
The new zombies
like
modes are nuts.
It's fun. But
all right. I got 6 lines here for you.
All right.
Perfect.
That's all you're getting for rap, all right? And it's gonna no beat. It's gonna sound terrible, but that's okay.
Totally fine. You have
all right. You ready for this? All right. Yo, listen, working class nerds. Hey, Marcus down. I'm the sexiest variety streamer around. I nicked the beat and wrote this with no sound. Did you listen close? Cause I made the rounds. Of everyone in this cast, I saved the best for last. Cause I'm the master stream rapper Atrax.
Hell yes!
There you go. That's my little freestyle for you there. I hope that works.
This is fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So Chimera, you're in trouble now. I listen to Eminem like a lot, and Hobson and other, Logic and other rappers. I really enjoy it. I think it's really clever, like how they arrange words and stuff like that. So it's just a little something I like to kind of do.
Absolutely. It's awesome. Well, I'll save the clip, so we'll put it to a beat later.
Sweet. Sweet. You have to show me what beat you picked, dude. I can't wait to hear it.
Okay. So Marcus, how's it going? And what have you been up to?
So it's been insane.
Tell me about it.
So
what's happening?
We had the craziest May the 4th. So May the 4th is a big holiday in my house. We actually celebrate it like it's a holiday.
Yep. May the 4th be with you.
Yes, and same to you. That was kind of creepy. Anyway, so I came home to Star Wars blasting on the TV. The kids were jumping on the couch. It was A New Hope scrolling up the TV.
That's fantastic.
The TV, the tablecloth was a Star Wars tablecloth. We have our centerpiece thing, and we have these Star Wars rubber action figures that were all up there. My kids made paper plates. One was painted of the Death Star, one was painted as Yoda, and one was painted as Darth Maul. Then my daughter made a May the 4th be with you banner that went over our home sign that's in our dining room. And we had, I don't even remember what we had for dinner. It was delicious though, but we had Wookiee cookies. So for one year for Christmas, we had, we got a cookbook.
Yeah.
Cookbook. And so there were Wookiee cookies and there were Death Star brownies.
Wow.
It's a huge holiday. And so it's customary. So Star Wars played all day. My wife said it was on all of the TVs. Probably it was mostly cartoons like the Lego Star Wars or the Clone Wars. Kids watched it all day. They just understood that that's Star Wars Day and that's what we do. And then at night we read A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back kid books, learn to read books. So it's 2 sentences per page.
Yeah.
So we read that.
Luke took the lightsaber. Wow,
Yeah.
This is bright, he said.
Yeah, exactly. Turn the page. So that was May the 4th. Then May the 4th night, shout out to Sotorista and Averia, SOTOR content creators. They came up with this idea of getting all of the people in the content creator program to run a nightmare operation. So there was mostly all of us and a Lady Rand's nightmare team. We went and I had to transfer a tune to Satil Shan, Kogus' server.
Ugh.
Yep.
Are you okay?
No, because it's not ending. And I want to get into that in a minute. Anyway, so we did Nightmare Dread Fortress 16-man, and we destroyed everything. I did not get to tank, so I got to Maraud.
Oh.
So they were like, all right, we're ready. And I just hit the 1 key and I leaped in and started the fight. Everybody's like, what the? All right. But
that's hilarious.
We killed the boss.
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, the stream was telling me to do it. Everybody was like, do it. Do it.
Do it.
Oh, yeah.
Do it. And I ended up doing it. It was fantastic. That stream was so much fun. It was definitely in that top tier of awesome streams. It was just, I was laughing the whole night. It was just fantastic. And I think it's just because it was Star Wars Day. I was playing Star Wars. I had Star Wars on the brain all week. It was just, just a quality stream. Some funny things that happened in that. So at one point, Kogus over voice was like, hey, Marcus, what server are you on? And I'm like, I'm playing on Satil Shan. He clipped it. Okay. He saved that video. Now on his channel, all of his shout outs, show the clip, and the sound of me saying I'm on Satil Sean plays every time somebody shouts me out on his channel.
That's
He
amazing.
was so proud of himself. He was laughing so hard.
I would be too.
I'm gonna go shout you out in his chat now just to hear it.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was quite adventurous of him. I'll give him that. But afterwards I, messaged him and it was pretty funny. You'll
get him back, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. So that was
Tuesday.
That was Tuesday.
Yep.
Wednesday night stream, I just put a team together and we went to hard mode explosive conflict just for funsies. Got a group of friends together. We had some fun. Got to play with some fun people. It was fun. You're like, and everybody's like, "Oh, why were you playing with a bunch of friends on Revenge of the 5th?" That's because I decided to leave my Nightmare raid team that I usually run on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So with that said, unfortunately, there were a difference of opinions. I'm going to say that's the nicest way because I don't like to
be negative.
Yeah, I'm not being negative. It just wasn't a good fit for me. And I would much rather leave a team than blow up on somebody and call somebody a jerk or anything like that. So I left, and so free agent over here, or maybe I'll put a squad together, but I don't know how hard it would be for me to raid lead and stream.
Yeah, I feel like that's tough.
Because I want to be able to focus on like the chat and stuff, but at the same time, I don't know. So like it's one of those things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot.
You could potentially, and this is just like off the top idea, you could potentially do like a special stream where you lead a raid. Some people might be really interested, like maybe ask your community. Some people might be really interested in, even if you're less interactive on chat, for just one stream, seeing you, like how you would lead a raid and stuff like that. They, just a suggestion. They might be into that. I don't know.
I have way too much, what's the word?
You're just distracted.
Stuff to do.
No, distracted. Like I could never not go crazy if somebody follows my channel.
That's true.
Or like, that's just not me. Like for me, when I'm streaming this chat and the game is important, but chat is
also more important, mostly.
Mostly like is important too. So like I'm in a Nightmare raid during the pulls, I'm concentrating, but after the pulls, I don't want to talk to anybody or talk about what we need to fix and then move on to the next pull. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And like I really like my stream to be interactive. Anyway, so not tomorrow. So tonight after this podcast, I am joining Max and Seema on their podcast, and we're going to be actually talking about hard mode operations and the hard mode training group that I started with AIE. Then tomorrow, I am not doing anything. I'm just going to chill. I feel like I do so much every day.
You do a ton every day.
It's crazy. So then Saturday, I'll be back. So I'll be back Saturday for my Sork story. And I love my Saturday night streams because it's like uber chill, but it's fun. And like, it's almost like, hey, I'm going to the bar. I'm only going to have one beer. But then you run into like 7 of your friends and the night just goes bananas.
Yeah. So I learned and then you close the bar.
Exactly. I've learned a long time ago, you never say you're going out and only having one beer.
So I agree with you wholeheartedly. Whenever I don't do it often, but the nights that I've like been there till 2 a.m. and close the bar and then go to someone's house after till 4 a.m. is when I've been like, oh yeah, let's just go get one drink, and then it turns into a disaster, a disaster. So, but whenever I'm like, yeah, we're getting drunk tonight, I'm home by like 11. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. It's always like the opposite of what I'm expecting, but yeah, Marcus, what else is going on?
So my Saturday night is going to be great. So then the only last thing is congratulations. Atrax said it earlier. Congratulations to the Guardians of the Order for having such a successful charity stream. It's really magical to watch. So I've never actually like watched a charity stream other than like one person doing it. but not like a team of people doing it for 2 days. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And watching, 9 streamers stream and raise over $6,000. That's insanity to me.
People from St. Jude showed up too. On Wednesday, I believe there were people showing up from St. Jude in Chimeras, and I believe Greg's chat as well.
Wow.
Yeah, like that's unbelievable, out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So just shout out to those guys, because that is just unbelievable, and that's a huge feat. And hopefully, we get to hear about some more big things that they're doing. To everybody in the nerds community, thank you. You guys know I love you. You guys mean the world to me. This community has grown so much, and we've capped over 600 followers now. It feels like just yesterday I hit 500. Thank you guys so much. It means so much to me that you guys are there with me. And our Discord, I'm telling you,
it's great.
Yeah, our Discord is awesome. So everybody in the Discord, just shout out. You guys are awesome and fantastic. Nick, so I know what you've been doing, but I can't wait to dive into this. What have you been up to?
So can I just start off? Like, I've had some lame, Nick, what have you been up to? But I've got a good one this week. So first of all, arg, shiver me timbers.
Oh my God.
A pirate on the Sea of Thieves I be. The number of days that I've played this game be numbered 3. So I've been playing Sea of Thieves, obviously.
Are you listening to Wellerman while you play Sea of Thieves?
No. Who's Wellerman?
Oh, it's a song. You have to listen to it when you play Sea of Thieves. It makes the game so much better.
I just constantly play shanties on like the guitars or whatever.
That works too.
But I will absolutely do that, Wellerman. So that's been fun. If you don't know, Sea of Thieves is like this open world game. You basically, from what I gather, you don't really level up your gear, but you go around and get cooler stuff and like level up like your reputation with these like trade companies. So I'll give you an example. There's an event going on where Joey, friend of the show, Joey Feder and I played where we took this gold trading company contract where you got to go and find like all these rare items and dig up pieces of a map that lead you to like this giant vault full of gold and valuable things. Well, while you're doing that, this opposite faction, the Reapers, they have contracts to just go kill and sink ships from the gold trading faction that have a bunch of loot on them. So like we managed to skirt around them for most of the evening until we like were about to open the vault, and then they killed us. But it's cool that like you're just out in the open sea with these people doing random stuff. And there's people that just transport cargo. Like we were obviously doing like, gold stuff. There's sea monsters that you can just randomly run into. It's really fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. What, Marcus?
I'm just listening.
Have you run into the Kraken yet?
No, I mean, you see it in the tutorial, but I haven't actually gotten Kraken yet.
Okay.
I ran into
the
Megalodon.
Kraken.
I've heard that's a really scary experience.
Yeah, in the tutorial, like the sky got all red, like the water underneath you goes straight up black, and then like 6 or 8 tentacles.
So you just
come out.
die.
No, you can escape it.
You can fight it.
You can fight it, but it's tough. And I think it probably pulls you actually underwater.
What's the point of this game?
To be a pirate.
That's it.
And you're just an epic pirate.
Yeah, you get to be Captain Jack Sparrow for a day.
Yeah, you can drink and get drunk. Like we found some crazy chest full of like, it's like the cask of 1,000 grogs. And like you just pick it up and your guy gets drunk just from picking up the barrel. You don't even have to drink it.
You can put yourself in a cannon and shoot yourself across to other ships and then like raid them. Yeah, you can put yourself in the cannon. You can like or you can have your teammate fire you across to some other ship, and then you can just go and like kill everyone and take all their stuff.
Yeah. What's the story mode like?
That is the story mode.
That is the story mode.
Is it PvE or PvP?
Yes, it's both.
It's both.
So it's PvE, like you fight skeletons and stuff on the islands when you go there. But then in the waters, there's people around too. There's not that many ships around. Like I think I've played for like 5 or 6 hours now, and I've only actually like ran into other players twice where we like fought. But it's wicked fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm going to circle back to Sea of Thieves because it's related to something else. But I also jammed some season 3 of Call of Duty Cold War on Monday evening, which is always great.
Did you buy the battle pass?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I did not buy the level skip version because I'm planning on having some more time to play, so I want to just grind through it. And let's see. I watched the first episode of The Bad Batch, but we're going to talk about that later.
Oh yeah,
that was awesome. I
can't
really enjoyed that. Also, I want to chat real quick. So Disney put out this teaser trailer about their new quote unquote real lightsaber that actually retracts.
Yeah, I saw that.
It looks pretty cool.
That's so.
I have to look that up. I never heard of that.
Google it right now.
Yeah, Google it right now.
Because so you can be like, oh my god.
It looks like the blade is cool. It looks like a higher end lightsaber you can buy now, like the Black Series or like the NeoPixel ones that people sell or whatever. But it actually retracts into the hilt, which is cool. And I don't really know how that works.
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea how that works. But for me, I'm just like, that is an item that if it's anything that they say it is,
yeah,
you're not going to be able to see that for like 3 years because it's going to be forever sold out.
100%. It's just going to be like bought
$600 or more. It's gonna. Well, I would imagine more.
Yeah.
Did they go into like any detail as to how this works?
No.
Did they like release this little trailer?
They released the video, and I think there's like a little tutorial from somebody, like one of the Imagineers, talking about creating it, but nothing.
No, like tech specs.
I'm sure that like they don't want anybody knowing how this thing was made right now.
Yeah. If I had to guess, right? Like, didn't Samsung have like a bendable phone or like a phone that rolled out?
Yeah,
like the screen rolled out.
It flipped in half. Yeah.
No, they had one. It's just I don't think they ended up. Maybe it was just like a prototype, but I thought they had one where you could pull it out and like it would be like a tablet size and then back to a normal phone size or something like that. And they also had one that flipped, but in my head I'm thinking it's some kind of technology like that where it like rolls into itself or something like that when it's in the hilt, and then it rolls out when you extend it. But I honestly don't know.
I wonder if they use like a really small sort of suction and desuction where like when you click the button to push it out, then it just blows air into some sort of like semi-firm thing. And then when you click the hilt to go in, it just sucks the air back in, which would like slowly. Right, I don't know how they would do that, but
here's the other side. Is this thing going to be like battle tested? Like, is this made for like kids, or is this like
put it on the shelf?
Is this like a collector's item where you're going to open it and close it like 50 times and hang it on a shelf and it's going to be delicate, or is this thing going to be the thing that like you push the button and it's
game on?
My kids are whacking you with it,
right?
Like they grab the Ventress one,
and
they destroy me with it.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, and they think it's hilarious.
One of my favorite memories as a kid was my dad and I. We got those like the old plastic lightsabers. We used to fight with those all the time. That was so much fun.
Oh yeah, me and my neighbors would fight each other with those too. It was great. And then somebody's fingers would get hit, and someone would like a little brother would cry or something. But
yeah.
Let's see what else. So, by the way, on what day was that? Yesterday? Oh yeah, Wednesday night. Marcus and I had a chat over Discord, and I downloaded Streamlabs OBS.
Yes.
And set up like a bare bones streaming setup, and I streamed some Sea of Thieves with Joey last night.
So he's being like, he's giving you guys like 35.5% of the hype. It started during the day and it said, dude, I've got some questions. I want to start streaming.
Yeah.
How do I do it? And I was like, okay, you're going to have to do this, this, and this. Okay. And then more questions. Actually, no.
No,
I think it started with, I need a logo.
Yeah, it did.
That's where it started.
And I was like, hey, no, I think it started with like, hey, I was like at work, like organizing meetings and stuff. And I was like, hey, can I get on a call with you to set up Streamlabs? And you're like, what? And then you brought up the logo. It's like, all right, just Google a logo so you get a logo. So you're not just like a blank profile picture. And that's where the logo thing came in. How's that going, by the way?
He said 3 to 4 days you'll have the first rendition.
Sweet. So I'll have a
Nice.
logo coming in hot also. which is pretty exciting. But yeah, I'm starting streaming, so I should say I'm making steps towards actually committing to streaming. Like I wanna. It's like I've got the grocery store and the refrigerators work, but I don't have all the food ready yet, and it hasn't had the grand opening, if that makes sense.
You don't have all the special pots and pans and stuff.
Right, exactly. So like I have a bare bones setup. I don't have a schedule yet.
Oh,
I haven't decided all that stuff.
okay. So it started off with I sent him. He sent me the thing on the lightsaber. Then I immediately sent him the new Xbox controller from Razer. There's a Star Wars one. And he's like, whoa, that's awesome. $180. He goes, hey, any chance we could get on a Discord call and set up my OBS before your stream tonight? And that's just where it went into fucking mayhem.
Marcus's brain goes a mile a minute. It's like, okay, you need a logo. You need to do this. You got to do that. You got to, and then I'm like, all right, well, it's all set up. And I was going to play a game anyway. Let me just stream it.
Yeah. So, and I had everything semi set up before I clicked the go live button. Nick did the opposite. He got his camera, he got the game picture, boom, go live.
I put a GIF for the follower button, and then I couldn't get the audio to work, so I just left the default, like whistle audio or whatever it is.
Yep. It took me a little bit to figure all that shit out.
Yeah.
But either way, how did it feel to stream, Nick?
It felt basically like a live episode of the podcast. Like, we did that. We had to engage in the chat all the time and like go back to the game and then engage in the chat. Doing the live episodes of the podcast like made me way more relaxed. I didn't have like stage fright. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it takes away that like, oh shit, people are watching me factor. And it's like, yeah, whatever. I'm used to this already. Especially like, we kind of have that to some degree doing the show now because, people are going to listen to it after we post it, obviously. So
sure.
I don't know. I think it was fun. I honestly was like really energized after, and I like took magnesium to fall asleep, which is great, by the way, if you need a sleep aid.
Sure.
But yeah, I was like thinking about it all this morning. Like, man, I want to like hop back on. I didn't end up having time before the show today, but yeah, I want to get that ironed out probably by this weekend. At least get all my alerts and badges queued up and sort of a rough on screen something. Working Class Nerds logo.
Atrax,
like
I'm sure, can agree. Setting up your stream is a rabbit hole.
I'm sure it's never ending.
Yeah, it's so much fun, but at the end, like you get really excited and you're like, oh, I'll work on this and I'll work on that and I'll work on that, and you start working on it, and then at the end of the day, you're like, wow, this was great, but I am exhausted.
Yeah,
it is absolutely. It's a rabbit hole, and then you find like, oh, I could do this or I could do that, and all the ideas just start coming out, and like, oh man, yeah, it's such a fun process. I agree.
I'm excited to jump in there. I just need like a dedicated chunk of hours to get some stuff done.
The hardest, yeah, exactly. So the hardest part of all this for me is you just need to make the time. The time I usually do it starts after like a raid night. So I'll start working on the stream at like 11:30 at night.
Oof.
Yeah, but that's just what happens. And I'm like, oh, I'm only going to do one thing.
And then you're like, oh, let me see this real quick.
And then I don't even do that because I think of something else and I go. But my stream I haven't touched. Like everybody has all these chat commands and raffle bits and extra currency and all that. And I'm just like, nope, not me.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, I'm not.
The only thing I can't figure out how to do is do a command list, because people always ask all the time what all the commands for the channel are. And I have no idea how to do that. Like I know how to make a command, but I don't know how to make a command list.
Yeah. So you make a normal command, but you take all of the commands that you have and you just paste them in the comment spot.
Oh boy. Okay.
It's tough. You have to you list them. What I just did is I listed them all down on a sheet of paper, and I used the little bracket thing to separate them. And then just lined them all up and just copy paste into the command thing.
Oh, that's a good idea. An exclamation point commands.
Yep.
That's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
I just learned something new.
I can send you mine as an example if you want.
Absolutely.
Oh, I appreciate it.
So what's happening in
SWTOR news? It's game update 6.3.A, which means they're just fixing all the stuff. from the newest patch has been delayed. I think it's delayed a week, maybe 2. I didn't really look because it's not like it's just basically a bug fix.
Just squashing some bugs.
Yes, squashing the bugs. Anyways, in AIE news,
Tuesdays are a mandatory fun night where the fun is mandatory, but attendance is not. It goes from 9 to 11 p.m. And we switch back and forth from the yucky Rainbows and Unicorns pub side to the much better and realistic Imperial side.
Yeah, on the imp side, we kill things. On the pub side, we befriend them. It's open to anybody in the guild. Sometimes there's a requirement that you have to be a sub or have a level 70 character because they might do
Just
a
the
60.
content.
Yeah, for the content. But other than that, most of the time, you're available.
So also Friday nights are the place to be in MF and AIE. I was trying to rhyme a little bit, but then I didn't want.
Don't be like Atrax.
Yeah.
He's the rapper. We're not.
I'll leave the rapping to Atrax because clearly I'm terrible at it.
No,
Friday.
it takes practice. You got it.
Fridays are the place to be in AIE. The first Friday of every month
Which is this tomorrow,
Which is
May
tomorrow.
7th.
May 7th, tomorrow. We're doing mandatory. Sorry, that's not what that stands for. We're doing Master Mode Flashpoints. See, I'm Ron Burgundy. If we don't type it out, I just read the abbreviations. Master Mode Flashpoints. So hard flashpoints are the first Friday of every month. The second Friday of every month is hard mode operations training.
With yours truly.
Brought to you by Marcus B814. Third Friday of every month, put on your Indiana Jones hat because you're going achievement hunting.
That's a great way to put it.
You're diving into all of the old Sith temples and Jedi temples, I suppose, as well. But the fourth Friday of every month is really where things pop off.
Really?
It's the best Friday. It's the best week of the month, every month.
But why is that?
Because it's Friday, and it's Mega. It's the monthly Epic Guild activity.
Mega!
I'm looking at the Zencaster like voice thing, and all of our voices are perfect. And then when Nix does that, it like jumps through the roof. It's hilarious.
I screw up the EQ for the whole show when I do that. But yeah, it's awesome. Marcus runs it.
Yeah, so this month, May's Mega will be a Where in the Galaxy is SEMA San Diego.
Very nice.
We take SEMA, we hide her on a planet, we give you a bunch of jobs to do. You need to find things, do things, kill things, and then get clues to go to the next location. And then you have to find SEMA. Most of the time, in order to find SEMA, you have to die. And that's a risk Max is willing to take.
And if all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org, jump in the Discord, the button for which you can find at the top right hand of the webpage, and ask for a guild invite. Whether or not you play Star Wars The Old Republic or any of the other games we play, we would love to have you. And we do mean any of the other games
There's
we play.
so many games. If you're in like the Nomads channel alone, there's like 4 or 5 games that they're playing. There's a Destiny 2 channel. There's a Division channel. There's World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, Lord of the Rings Online, obviously SWTOR. I mean, the list is endless, and there's so many people playing so many different things. Please come to the Discord, say hello. We would love to have you.
So normally I would have to pee, but I peed extra before the show and drank less water today. So we have time to chat about the Bad Batch.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, my God, the feels. I watched mine last night. So I finished stream at 10:30, 11:15, and that's when I watched it.
Afterwards?
Yes.
Until like 1 a.m?
Yes. It
Wow,
was
pretty
all
impressive.
right. So just for the record, I sat on my sun porch. I opened the door, turned on the fan, so it had that like wicked cool like spring breeze blowing through.
Oh, that's nice.
I had the TV, no lights on. I shut my phone off,
Full theater mode.
like full theater mode with TV sound. Like the sound was not like in your basement.
Oh yeah, it's not the same.
No, it's not the same. But like I was in it,
Yeah, of
like,
course.
and
Wait, you don't have a sound bar down here?
no, I was out on the sun porch.
Oh, I didn't pay attention to that part.
That TV, we'll get into that another day. Anyways, so
I think it's broken.
I'm going to say this immediately when it started and it showed the red Clone Wars logo.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Spoilers.
Oh yeah, big time spoilers.
So
Yeah.
big spoilers. Hold on. Let me do this timestamp.
Oh, we didn't say anything yet.
Yeah, but Start Bad Batch.
Start a Bad Batch. We're marking it for. We can put it in the show notes
put it
later.
in the show notes so people can skip over the minutes.
Okay.
Anyway, when it started with the red Clone Wars logo, dude, my heart was like melting.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking about, oh my God, what happened in that last episode of the Clone Wars?
Have you seen that ending of Clone Wars, Atrax?
I have not.
Okay.
I've heard about it though, my friend. I made it through a couple seasons, but I realized like I unfortunately just don't have the time to finish it. So I got a synopsis from my friend.
Oh, okay. But so you know what happens in the last season 7.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden it goes and like burns off,
and you see
the Bad Batch, and I was like instantly in a good mood.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, I'm back to like
fun, like
fun
stormtroopers,
yes,
fucking shit up,
yes,
yeah,
and I was loving it. So Nick, take us away.
So it basically you have the Bad Batch working with a Jedi Master Padawan combo, which I will of course I'll go through that later who they are, but they're screwing up some battle droids, they're doing their thing, they're badass, and then soon after
and they're overwhelmed.
Oh yeah,
and they're waiting for like
that's
even
right. Okay, sorry. Thank
and
you.
like even the intro to the show is the Clone Wars guy. 2 Jedi Knights, Jedi Master and Padawan, whoever
on collar,
in a lot of trouble waiting for reinforcements.
Yeah,
and I was like,
and they're all completely
my
overwhelmed.
God.
They're like about to die, basically.
Right, and they're doing it in the same like Clone Wars style, and I'm like, I'm on my like seat. I even got a snack at 11 o'clock at night. Completely not healthy for me, but I felt like it was snack worthy.
Yeah,
and I feel like if I popped popcorn last night, everybody in the house would have been pissed.
Of course.
I did a margarita and I made Cajun tots in the air fryer for Bad Batch.
Wow.
Can you explain what a Cajun tot is?
Like a Cajun flavored tater tot?
Yeah. So basically I make the tater tots in the air fryer. And then when I pull them out, I season them with like salt and pepper and some paprika and some other like seasonings to make them kind of like a little spicy-ish, you know?
Whoa.
Yeah.
We got Chef Boyar Atrax in here. Let's go.
No. It's just frozen air fried tater tots with seasoning, I swear.
Bro, I know, but dude, that's amazing. I never thought of that.
It was great. It went really well with the margarita too, you know, like it kind of flavoring went well.
The spicy margarita combo. So let me go through it like this. So they're waiting for reinforcements. It's just the Jedi Master, and the Padawan is supposed to be bringing the legions of reinforcements. And the Padawan runs back all out of breath, and he's by himself. The Jedi Master's like, dude, what the hell? Where are the reinforcements? And they're like, oh, they're coming. Don't worry. Like, well, how many of them are there? And it's like, just 5. 5. And the Stormtrooper's like, the commander or whatever is just like, oh, we're dead. And then, of course, it cuts to the Bad Batch just destroying the entire droid army by themselves, as they usually do, and it's epic, and it goes from there. So basically, soon after that, they're cleaning up the droids and stuff, and then Order 66 gets broadcast.
Which, just for the record, that is the feels.
Yeah.
Like, I knew it was coming, and when the Jedi walked away, and the Republic trooper turned away from the Master, I was like, oh no, here it comes.
Yeah, and then you get the broadcast, execute Order 66.
Right. And I was like, oh no. But then the craziest part is after that part, like they kept repeating it because what's the guy's name? Not Tracker.
Hunter? Which one?
The really smart one.
Tech.
Yeah. Tech's like, it's on repeat. Execute Order 66, execute Order 66, execute Order 66. Like over and over. He's like, that's all this code, all this broadcast is saying.
Right.
And for me, I'm just like, oh my God. Like we're getting a different side of the story.
Right.
And I'm like, and the feels of it, because no remorse.
Yeah,
and it just shows like, because in the Clone Wars or in Revenge of the Sith when they turned, there was just one thing when the Emperor said it, execute Order 66 to Cody, and that was it.
Right, and then because everything is from the Jedi's perspective, so you don't see it from the Trooper's perspective.
Correct. Right. You know, and I was just like, holy cow. And it was like, and then with the Clone Wars, how Palpatine like purposely spread the Jedi so thin right before the end of the war, because he knew it was going to end. Like, he spread all the Jedi thin just for this reason.
Right. So they could
not band together and win.
Right. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
How that plays out.
Yes.
What I think is cool is the master basically, sacrifices herself so that the Padawan can get away. And the guys from the Bad Batch, the 5 of them, don't. So their genetic, I guess they explained it this way, that their genetic mutations make it so that they don't have that programming, or that programming for Order 66 isn't like properly set in, except for one of them has it like a little bit, not nearly as much as the regular clone troopers. Who's the marksman guy?
Hunter.
I forgot his
Hunter.
No, Hunter's the leader.
Crosshairs. Sorry,
Crosshairs. Yeah, thank you. Crosshairs, the sniper gentleman, has it a little bit, and he's like, so the long story short, they're going after the Padawan who runs away, and they're chasing him through the woods, and Hunter's trying to help him because the leader of the group, he doesn't understand why the rest of the troops are killing the Jedi. And then you have this sort of conflict with him and Crosshair, who was like, hey, the order's to kill the Jedi. Like, they betrayed us. We're killing the Jedi. What are we doing?
Right.
Running through the woods. Long story short, the Jedi Padawan gets away because Hunter kind of lets him get away over this sort of ravine. And Crosshair kind of knows that he does. But I think it's important to note the name of this Padawan. I don't know if you picked this up.
I did not.
Atrax. I didn't either when I watched it. So his name is Caleb Doom. And if you go in the Wayback Machine from watching Rebels, that is the real name of Kanan Jarrus. So that Padawan is Kanan as a little kid.
Which is fucking insane.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. And I didn't know that until like I was at work today, and then I texted Marcus like a paragraph in all caps.
Yeah, and it explains why he hates clones so much.
Right, because they killed his master right in front of him.
Right, and Hunter was trying to help the kid, and Crosshairs was like, he's the only one that the chip was working
in the
but it was only mildly working because he
Mhm.
was still like listening. Because if you remember, I'm trying to remember, was it Rebels or was it it was Clone Wars when like you
Rex
couldn't even
goes-
talk to a clone trooper about not doing something. They just shot because their programming was so strong to like kill the Jedi.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you got in their
just
way, they were
followed
killing
orders
you.
like the droids did.
Right.
It was very interesting. So anywho, the Bad Batch ends up going back to Camino. They learn that this is where like the sort of post-war things start coming up. They end up realizing that, the Republic's gone, the Empire's here now. The Empire is starting to phase out sort of actual clones, or they're skeptical about it. Grand Admiral Tarkin is on Camino, sort of evaluating the clone troops, like, hey, I don't like clone. He doesn't like clones, and he's seeing if they're worthy or not to just stay in his army. They also meet a new character called Omega, who's pretty cool. I think she's going to end up being, she's a medically trained clone. She's a little kid, and she's female.
And she's enhanced.
And she's enhanced like they are. So she's like the other a member of. Oh my God! Stop hacking, both of you. I think she's gonna end up being like the medic of the group.
Medic,
which is cool.
Need a medic over here.
Yeah, Corman. So Tarkin comes in and he's evaluating all the clones. He takes a
why? So like this is what I don't understand is why is he evaluating the clones? I think it was just he had to be there because he's going to kill them all.
Yeah, he was going to kill them all pretty much.
Yeah, because
didn't he explain that he was evaluating them on behalf of the Empire to see like their usefulness?
Yeah, because he didn't think they were useful, and they wanted to move to like a conscription army.
Yeah, basically it's how the stormtroopers start.
Yeah, because he's like, why are we basically? I think he's basically saying, why are we paying Camino all this money to make the clones? We can just like get regular soldiers and it'll be fine.
Well, that's because before they couldn't create an army, so they had to buy clones.
Right. No, I'm saying, and now that they don't have to buy them, like, do we need these still? Basically,
right. The thing that I caught So a couple things is that droid that helps Rex.
Yeah, the medical droid.
Yes, he was in it, and I was like,
Easy.
oh, yes, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. Here we go.
Rex and Fives, I think it
Yeah,
was.
Rex and Fives, right? Fives. He saved Fives. And the other thing that was really interesting is the Kaminoans.
Yep.
Kaminoans. Yeah, they knew something was up.
Yeah.
And like, I think that they knew it was the end, because if you looked closely, they were trying to stop.
Bless you.
Thanks. They were trying to stop like the advancement of Tarkin. You know what I mean? Throughout the show, because they were like, oh, let's do a training session with the Bad Batch, Clone Force 99. And they were, when they said turn to live rounds, they were like, what?
They're like, hey, don't do that.
Why
Whatever.
why are you doing that? And I think Tarkin knew that they were going to be the problem. So that's why he was like, all right, let's see if we can kill them now easily before we send them wherever we're going.
Right. They almost seem like they're, if I had to guess, Tarkin's purpose for them is going to be like the Suicide Squad in the DC universe. He's going to be like, I know you guys are effective, but like I don't really care about you, so I'm going to go have you do like these preposterous missions.
So I don't know a whole lot about Admiral Tarkin, or I guess Grand Moff Tarkin in the later movies. Yeah. I was wondering, is this sort of his, like, because he's Admiral now, is this sort of his like ulterior motive to do well for these, eliminating kind of like the trace threats throughout the galaxy right after this? And then that's how he becomes Grand Moff, is by like proving to Vader and all them, you know? That was like what I was wondering, because I don't know a whole lot about him as a character.
So in the Tarkin book, I don't know if it's canon or not. So Vader hates Tarkin.
Yeah.
But the Emperor really liked Tarkin when he was Palpatine.
I think he was. I think Tarkin was the governor for.
Yes, the governor.
Governor Tarkin.
Governor Tarkin.
And then I might have misspoke. I don't know. He might not be admiral. It might be a politically title like Moff.
I think
so it might be. I thought he said admiral.
I'm pretty sure it's admiral, because I remember noting to my friend, I was like, "Wait a minute, he's not Grand Moff here. He's something else."
Yeah. Okay. No, I think you're right then. Maybe it was admiral.
But in the book, like he won. We'll call him the Emperor. He won his Emperor's heart because of the stuff he did and how he was ruthless. That's how he became to power. He played the political game,
right?
But now, like, I think you're onto something, Atrax, where now I feel like this is going to be Tarkin's show of, like, they're going to give Tarkin the spotlight that he deserved from A New Hope.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like how he got to that power, or even in oh my God, why can't I think of the movie Rogue One?
Right,
like where like he completely took it, the Death Star from Krennic. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Other things that I noticed that were interesting is in the Clone Wars, you didn't see a lot of shock troopers.
Right.
And all of a sudden,
there's like a bunch.
There's a lot of them, like battalions of shock troopers.
Right.
That's right. They mentioned that too. They're like, what are all these shock troopers doing here?
Right. And I was just like, well, that's weird that we didn't see a lot of them throughout the show.
Right.
Or that I can remember.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of episodes of Clone Wars.
Did you also notice in that fighting simulation, the droids that have the live fire rounds are the same droids from The Mandalorian? The same style, which I don't think.
Notice that.
What
think
droids from The Mandalorian?
So the ones that, like, spoilers for Mando season 3, in the final episode, the ones that Luke fuck up, the giant, like,
those weren't dark troopers.
They looked like they were. They looked like the same style droid.
I'm gonna
you gotta go back.
I'm gonna go back and see now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go back.
They looked a lot like dark troopers.
To me, they looked like a cross between dark troopers and those security droids.
Yeah,
you know, like the big giant ones.
Yeah, see, and it's funny, and we all see it differently. I looked at it, and they were like a form of super battle droid.
Yeah, or maybe it's something like it's supposed to look like a cross between the two kind of thing. Maybe it's because it's like early Empire. Obviously, right. Mando is like end of Empire, late some so dark troopers are different, but yeah, I thought it kind of looked like it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
But then, so they defeat those monsters, and you're starting to understand that one clone Crosshair is like, he's definitely following Order 66, but he's still like listening.
Kinda,
so like
sorta.
he kind of still has reasoning. So they send him to this planet to eliminate people, and it was clearly a test,
right?
And when they showed up, none other than
it was Saw Gerrera,
right?
So they're saying, "Hey, go eliminate these like fugitives," and then
insurgents.
Yeah, and then they get there, and it's like mostly civilians with like some fighters, basically led by Saw Gerrera. And they're like, "Hey, the Empire's not, he's the whole spiel. The Empire's evil, etc., etc." And honestly, Hunter, the leader of the crew, kind of listens to him. He's like, "You got a point. I don't know why the hell we're supposed to be killing you people. Like, you're just, the war's over. Like, I don't know what we're doing here.
There. Yeah,
there's kids here. Like,
kids.
yeah, I'm not gonna." And Crosshair is like arguing with him, "Hey, orders are orders. This is fucked up. You're going against the orders." Then they come back, and it turns out that Crosshair ratted out Hunter to Tarkin, and then Tarkin ends up sort of doing some medical tests on him, realizing that most of the Bad Batch is not following Order 66 and does not have the programming, except Crosshair does. So he enhances Crosshair's programming to like control him fully, and then they have a big fight at the end.
And insert the Sith Lord of the Bad Batch.
Right.
He's the big bad.
Yeah.
Tarkin's going to be the master, and
Crosshair will be
the apprentice.
Right. Which is interesting. So they go back to the Bad Batch ends up like fleeing, but you know what I mean? And then they come back to Kamino to rescue Omega because she's still there. And she's like, "Hey, she's an altered, clone like us. She can help us. She really wanted to hang out with us. Let's go get her. This isn't right to leave him there with these bad people. Leave her there with these bad people." They go back and they have a big confrontation with Crosshair, obviously. And they get Omega in this big dramatic fight and flee Kamino. And that's where the episode leaves
But the
off.
Kaminoans help get them out of there.
Right.
Yeah.
They keep the blast door open.
Right.
Because they're like, "Oh, it won't close. It won't close," like hitting the button.
Right.
So now that we're here, right? Let me ask you guys a couple questions.
Yeah.
Do you think we see Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda? Do you think we see any Ahsoka Tano? Do you think during this Bad Batch show we see any of the the OGs?
I think we'll see Vader.
You think we're going to see Vader?
Yeah, but not for long. It'll be if we do, it'll be, well, it's all Empire stuff, right? So like I could see him being like, "I have a mission for you," or something like that. "Here, go do this." And
Vader telling Sharpshooter, or what's his name?
Crosshair, something like that.
Tarkin,
something like that. But it's not really going to be him in the show. It'll be like a quick cameo.
Or Director Krennic.
Yeah, somebody like that.
That's my personal hope, is that they use the heroes or villains kind of sparingly, because it'd be nice to really focus on like these characters. At least personally, I thought I enjoyed what I watched of Clone Wars, and I think Mando did a really good job of using heroes and things like that. Like it wasn't until season 3 and now we see Luke Skywalker. So I really appreciate that about kind of some of the newer Star Wars stuff.
Agreed. And even when we got Ahsoka and Mandalorian, it was like sparingly,
right?
It didn't turn into the Ahsoka show,
right? My hope for the show is I'm hoping we get the bounty hunters, Bosk, Cad Bane, Boba Fett, Baby Boba.
Yeah.
Greedo.
What was the girl's name?
Greedo.
What was the female's name?
I can just picture her.
But what like, where's Ventress?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's a bunch of characters that I'm
kind of have like loose ends.
Yeah, loose ends, and this would be the perfect way to execute. You know what I mean? Like insert them really quick, maybe like a quick Ventress thing. You know what I mean?
You could bring back what's the pirate guy's name that has the the like Caribbean accent. He showed
Hondo.
Hondo. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like they could, and they were like, "Oh, where should we go?" And they said wherever they're going, and I'm like, I have no idea where they're going.
Yeah,
and so I feel like this show is going to be almost like a Mando show.
Yeah,
where they're going to go planet to planet for whatever their reason, and they're going to help somebody achieve a victory, and then they're going to be okay to the next planet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Until they release the plot.
Right.
I think we're too new to it. I think they're going to build these characters, and we're getting 16 episodes.
That's so great. I love that.
Are they releasing one every week? What's the release schedule like?
Nick, to the Google.
Please hold.
Please hold. Well, Nick,
while we answer your question.
Get on it, Jamie. Anyway, so but that's what I mean. So 16 episodes. We're going to get like full character development out of this. And it just proves the point that an animated show, you're able to really flesh out more because it costs obviously less to do.
Right.
What do you got? Oh, you're still looking. Okay.
Come on.
No. I thought you were as fast as Jamie is. Anyway.
I'm not Jamie.
The other thing that, okay, so.
Oh, I got it now.
All right, wait 1 second. Damn it. A couple, if I can nitpick, I was a little. Okay, so the little thing that disappointed me was Saul Guerrera's voice didn't sound like Saul Guerrera.
No, you got to use the same voice actor.
And that's what I mean.
Agree.
Like, and
I forgot.
Okay, so maybe he didn't want to come, but like, I'm pretty sure there's enough voice mod out there where you could have
got
like
something
faked
close.
It,
yeah.
Right? Like, because it sounded nothing like Saw Gerrera.
Right.
To me.
And I get it, it's young Saw Gerrera, but
no, you still got to have that voice. I'm sure 10 years ago, me still has this raspy smoker's voice.
Smokers and sawdust voice.
Yeah, smokers and sawdust voice. You know what I mean?
Cabinet varnish.
Cabinet varnish. So that's what I mean. For me, that was my one nitpick. When's the schedule, Nick?
So it is weekly. The next episode comes out tonight at 3 a.m. on the real time or midnight.
Wait, so episode 2 is tonight?
Yep.
How long is it?
Let's go.
I don't have that info.
Okay.
I think they're this
30 minute.
Yeah, something more normal. This was obviously a giant episode. For the first one, I think they're like a 23-minute or 22, something like that, like a normal sort of TV slot.
And
I prefer those types of shows over like the 45 minutes ones.
Yeah.
Before I ask you guys about your nitpicks, if any, I just want to say I'm really happy that Disney Plus said F you to Netflix. And Netflix is all about like binge the show, and Disney Plus is like, whoa. We're going to go back to that traditional style where you're going to get out of work on a Friday night or whatever night it is. You're going to sit in your chair and you're going to enjoy our show. And you're going to get to talk about it for a week. And then the next one's going to get discussed.
Right.
Example, Stranger Things. Stranger Things is such an awesome show, but because it's available beginning to end,
like the whole season in one
like
shot.
the mid, like episode 2 and 3, and then maybe even 4 are like lost in the space because you're like, all you care about is how it starts and how it ends.
Right.
I'm binging this shit. I'm sitting down on my couch for 6 hours, and that's Netflix's model. And maybe this is the old man in me. I don't like that model.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit down and binge a show. Like now, like, okay, Clone Wars, sure, because it's over and it's been over for a while.
Yeah.
Let's sit down and do that. Like, okay, I can watch 5 episodes in a row because it's old. But like when it comes out, like spread it out. What's 16 weeks from now, Nick?
August 13th is the finale.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we get the whole summer of Bad Batch.
And that gives them the whole summer to work on the next season. So like we wait less time in between.
Right. It's great.
Let's go. All right.
I love that.
And my last thing is the fact that what's the first thing you guys think of when you think of the word Omega?
Like
I think of that one movie, like Omega, and was it like Alpha and Omega or something with the wolves? It's like a kid's movie.
I think of Transformers.
I think of the planet Omega on Mass Effect.
Oh, okay.
Where it's all like dance clubs.
Okay.
And it's like dirty. It's almost like a Nar Shaddaa of Mass Effect.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Anyway. So what are your nitpicks, Nick? Yeah, Nick.
I don't. if I'm gonna, I guess I could really nitpick. So I like that they brought in a new character in Omega, but I don't love that they didn't explain why she's female. Because like it feels a little, all the clones are male, right? They're all based off of Fett,
Right.
Not Boba,
Yeah.
Django.
and like Jango Fett. Thank you. I had a brain fart. So like I guess I'm a little sensitive after our like. What movie were we criticizing with Ari where it was like with the giant feminism debate of like things that are shoehorned in?
Oh, Avengers.
Yeah. So like
the end games, we are the women or whatever they did.
Yeah.
Remember like
yeah.
oh,
Which was fun.
yeah,
It was like
Captain
the
Marvel too,
woman-
I'm just a girl in the world.
Yeah.
And she's like dancing around messing everybody up. No, but it was
It was
when
the
all
team
like
up.
with the team up of all the
It
females.
was like we're girls and we're gonna get together and be girl power.
and we were like, we're all for that, except when they shove it down your throat, it's like,
all right,
come on.
It's
Just like when
it feels like pandering. I think the word is, you know,
pandering.
Yeah, that's what killed the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey movie for me.
Yeah,
I'm a huge Harley Quinn fan, and I still enjoyed the movie, but like I felt that the women power thing was just a little too much. Just dial it back a little bit. You can get your message across well, and like nobody will leave the theater feeling like, wow, I'm a terrible person for not, like.
Right. Exactly. I think another example that I think the whole movie is terrible and flawed, but for other reasons too. But Wonder Woman 1984 is like a pandering movie for however long the movie is, and I found that particularly egregious because I think Wonder Woman's completely badass, and they did a great job with the first movie.
Oh, the first one was awesome.
That was epic. They did a great job with the character in her short time she was on Batman vs Superman. I thought she was good in the theatrical cut of Justice League, and then I thought she was absolutely epic in the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. And then 1984 was just terrible. But my point about Omega is I thought her making a shoehorning in a female clone without some like explanation about the science or something to explain it felt like a little bit of pandering to me. But I think
I think we're gonna get it. I
hope we do later.
So
we're nitpicking, right? I gotta find a little bit.
No, of course. I feel like there's a reason.
Yeah,
and I feel like so Django wasn't there anymore,
right?
So they were gonna create a new clone army of her.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the plan, and I think that's why they wanted her to survive. Because
wait, what does Omega mean? Is that the best or the first?
I'm not sure.
Hold on, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, so for me, it's like, okay, there's something a bigger plot going on, and that's why she had to survive. But Atrax,
by the way,
it's the last. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, she's the last clone. She's the last clone they ever made.
My thing with Omega, like and maybe it was just my brain, my like non-Star Wars lore soaked brain, my new brain, but I just dismissed it as, because I think it was Lama Su who said, oh, this is like my medical helper, she helps me.
Right.
Maybe that was just like a cover, but I also wonder if those Kaminoans use that technology to like benefit themselves, to help make not necessarily servants, but like people who had specified not just combat, but like medical expertise, because like how would a little kid be able to help Lama Su with like medical things if she wasn't genetically engineered to do so?
Right. I think they mentioned that she's genetically engineered like the Bad Batch to like be super duper something, and I think it's medical.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think she's she's going to be like the medic of the crew for sure.
Right.
It's cool that you have this character. I like the thought.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Omega name probably alludes to her being the last clone, though, if I had to guess that they
probably.
But it's interesting. I didn't. What did you have a nitpick?
Yeah, my nitpick is actually like in my mind kind of a large one, but also I think that they still did it well. I really wish that they were a little bit more subtle with Crosshair being like separating himself from the team. Like it was very obvious for me right away that he was gonna. I didn't even think that he needed the genetic engineering. I thought that Tarkin was just gonna like take him off to the side and talk to him about it, and then there was going to be kind of like a showdown in the end. I still expected a showdown, but I thought maybe it would be more, at least to me, like more enjoyable to watch how watch him struggle more with like, oh, do I stick with the team? Do I follow orders? For me, it was just like, all right, well, he has this defect. Let's just crank it up and he'll be fine,
Right.
and just follow. But that's it. I still think the way that they did it was well done. And I look forward to seeing how his character arcs later in the series. But I wish that they were just a little more subtle with like his quandary between sticking with the team and going with the Empire.
For the Empire.
I'm looking forward to more Empire stuff.
Same.
I love the Empire stuff.
Nick, I know you have to use the bathroom.
I absolutely do now, so we'll be right back.
Jeez, Nick, hurry up. We're trying to finish this podcast.
And we're back. So today we're discussing what it's like to be a variety game streamer with our very, very sexy and handsome guest, Atrax.
Thank you.
So first things first, I think we should start with a more frivolous question. We ask, if we haven't asked every guest, we're going to moving forward. Who is your favorite Star Wars character in all of the Star Wars everything?
Oh, you're coming out hard right away.
Yeah, take your time.
Wait a minute. This wasn't on the notes. Hold on.
No, I'm blindsiding you.
I'm just
right
kidding.
out the
Let's see. That's a really good question.
It's difficult to describe. If you want, Marcus and I can run through our answers first while you're pontificating.
I want to hear what you guys think.
Mine's R2D2, because he's always there to help, and that's kind of my personality. You don't need the Force. You don't need anything. All you need is a good droid that always has your back. Because if you think about it, throughout all the movies, one through whatever, he was there for every single character at some point, and he saves the day all the time. Nick,
for me, mine's kind of tricky because I don't think I have like one specific character because my philosophy towards the Force is different. And it's hard to find somebody that fits.
You do have a favorite, and I know who your favorite is, but keep going.
I'm curious as you're going to say. So
Darth Bane all day. Your character is Darth Bane. You are a power-driven person. You will use the Force to get what you want, but yet you will let the Force guide you in the path that you want to go, and you're evil as fuck. Okay.
What I was gonna say, you're right, by the way.
Yes.
First of all, second of all, I feel like if you insert me, Nick, I am suddenly am Force sensitive and I'm in the Star Wars universe, right?
Darth Bane.
Yeah. I would be I think I would use both sides of the Force or be open to it, but I think that basically makes you a dark side user. So I think the dark side of the Force is much more pragmatic.
It's more hate the Dark Council. You would hate other Sith telling you how to be a Sith.
That's you guys are idiots.
You have the craziest OCD on the planet. Like if your pill bottles aren't organized correctly, you lose your shit.
Yeah.
Darth Bane.
Yeah. Just so if you don't know, Darth Bane is the one who came up with the rule of two. There used to be this giant whole Dark Council. There were hundreds of Sith. And then he basically tricked them, killed them all. He said, nope, I run everything. I've got all the power. It's going to be me and my apprentice, and that's it. And I'm badass.
My apprentice, Darth Xana, who is my favorite Sith, because to me, she's like the Harley Quinn of the Star Wars universe, just like running around, just killing stuff and good times.
Xana's pretty badass. I agree. Is that who you would pick? Would be Darth Xana?
No, actually, she's my favorite Sith. But I thought about it, and I think overall, Obi-Wan would be my favorite character.
It's a great pick.
Yeah, it's a great pick.
Because and this is mainly like from the movies and from what I've seen in games and in like the Clone Wars and stuff like that. Yeah. I really appreciate his like continuity. Like Ewan McGregor took such like drastic measures to study and to work really hard on imitating how how Obi-Wan was in the original trilogy, and they worked really hard on like importing that into the Clone Wars and stuff like that. So him as a character, his constant wit, like all the memes, another happy landing and hello there,
right,
all that stuff.
Yeah,
that I just love his character and his personality and how the actors really portrayed him and played him. I think is just, to me, that's what makes him my favorite.
I think that's a great choice. Obi-Wan's pretty badass too.
Can I do a sidebar real quick? So
Yeah,
during the break, I texted Chimeri and I said he rapped, and he's like, "Oh my god, how mad at me is he?"
What do you mean? How mad? I've been DMing him already. He should know how mad I am.
Anyway, moving on. So it's interesting you talk about Darth Xana because I feel like because she's never made like an appearance, or it's only from the Bane books, it's really hard to feel how truly evil this girl was.
Yeah. Well, you see her. See, I'm of the opinion. So, you've read all the Bane books, right? Or listened to them? You have or have not? I'm sorry, I missed that.
I have not.
Oh, okay. Then I will not talk. Wait, how do you know about Darth Xana then?
I just did some research when I was playing SWOTOR. I was gonna like do a YouTube series. It's dead now, by the way. It's not coming back. Okay. I was gonna do a YouTube series on like being a Sith for SWOTOR, and I wanted to like study it. So I studied like the rule of 2. Just like the basic rule of 2 and stuff like that. So I can kind of RP it more. So I know like who she is, but I don't really know like deep lore.
You should. So for me, I have a terrible time trying to sit down and read tech books like from text, but I do really well with like audiobooks, like on Audible. So the whole Bane trilogy is on Audible, and it's fully voiced, fully like sound affected, if that's a phrase, and it's great. I would definitely recommend listening to it like that.
Okay.
But I don't want to say my point because I don't want to spoil things for you because the ending of the trilogy is awesome. But anyway, back at the ranch.
So
go listen to it.
And so
I'm just saying you might know more about Xana post.
Yeah, the audiobooks are amazing. Yeah, the audiobooks of Darth Bane are definitely in top tier level.
Yeah.
I love Audible. But anyway, so Obi-Wan. So Obi-Wan to me is very by the book.
But he's like the most badass by the book. I think Obi-Wan, one could argue, is like the most quintessential Jedi that you see in all the Star Wars content.
Yeah. But he's very by the book Jedi code.
That's how a Jedi is supposed to be.
Correct.
Yeah.
So would you say you're the most like an Obi-Wan, Atrax? Your personality?
Kind of in the sense of like for me, you know, Obi-Wan is very like he knows the code and everything, but he does his best to not put himself like in situations where he would be, I guess, like tested to break the code or whatnot, you know, at least from what I've seen. And so he kind of gives that like wisdom vibe of just like, all right, well, this is what I'm supposed to do, but like, he thinks it out and like, what's the best way to go about doing this? And if he can't figure out a way, it's almost like, okay, well, we need to do something else. So at least that's the vibe I get from him, you know, like with him jumping in, you know, hello there. And then all of a sudden all the clones come around and stuff and he's fighting and whatnot. Yeah. It seemed kind of chaotic, but in the end you're like, wow, he really thought it out. It was like well planned. Obviously you couldn't see Order 66 coming, but you know, what he did was like well thought out and planned. So I guess that's kind of where I draw Obi-Wan vibes is.
But okay. Speaking of the Order 66, if you remember that the Revenge of the Sith, when that came out, like he was nowhere near the clones.
He was way up on the ridge.
Right. And he was like, hey guys, I'm going to go check out some more stuff. See you later. It's like, did he know like subconsciously?
Maybe he felt it.
Yeah. Like he knew something was off and he's like, I got to get out of here because I'm not going to survive. Like his bigger purpose was there. I don't know. For me, that's awesome. Obi-Wan, Darth Vader.
Yeah. And also too, Obi-Wan carries like wit even in very serious situations, you know, like another happy landing. That's a really great scenario of like, this was such a terrible thing that just happened and yet we're alive and hey, you know, we're happy, we're down here.
Yeah,
that's what I like about Obi-Wan too, is he always has like a positive outlook.
Right. So let's get into your streaming a little bit. So first and foremost, what is your favorite game of all time?
Oh my goodness, this is such a hard question to answer because
we only ask hard questions
games in general. I know. So I split it up. Tetris is my most played over like all genre, or not all genres, all platforms. I remember playing on an N64, on Game Boy, on NES, NES, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, phone, like you name it. I've played Tetris on it probably. But my favorite one would be dance games like DDR and Pump It Up. Those are like, they're the big arcade style machines.
Dude,
that was like my big childhood.
All right. Next poll on your stream has to be DDR. Like, break it out. Go get the stream, not the stream deck, the what is that thing called?
Dance pad?
No, the thing for the computer that you can plug the red, white, and yellow plugs in.
Like the TV.
The capture card?
Yeah, capture card. Got to do a capture card. Break out your Dreamcast and let's go.
Or PS2 or whatever.
Whatever it was on.
So here's my problem with, and this is like, this sounds so like self-absorbed when I say it, but it's just the truth. With the levels that I play at, I need like a metal pad, and those things cost like $1,000.
Yeah, because if you use just
if you use like the mat, it moves around and it doesn't register your hits, and there's no like bar to brace yourself on, because you have to hold on. That's what the bars are there for. Like, people think, oh, it's to help you not fall off. No, like, you're supposed to hold on to it so your feet can move faster.
Wow. And you're like holding yourself up so your feet are just flying.
Extreme.
Yeah. It's so, yeah, wow. It's a lot of fun. It took me, my dad and I used to go to the arcade where they had the machine, and it was really like my dad who got me into it, because he loved them. And he was like, hey, son, you love video games. Here, like, play this. It's, because you're moving your feet and stuff. It's, as a kid,
exercise.
You get your energy out. Right, exactly. And so then, because of that, for the next, like 5 to 10 years, we would go there maybe at least once a week, and we would play. And we wouldn't, it would only cost us, like, overall, because there were other people there who would play too. There was like a little community at that time, before like the internet and stuff, the internet, but the internet was there, but it wasn't really that popular for like finding local people to game and stuff with.
Yeah.
Back then, for me, it was, we were all at the arcade and we all played this game. There's actually another streamer, Boo Does Games, who I knew from that era when I would go to the arcade with my dad, and then her and a bunch of other people were there. And we would all just like play dance games, and we, over the course of an hour, because then you play, then maybe 3 or 4 other people play. Over the course of an hour, you'd play maybe 5 times, and it would cost you $10. So for my dad and I, going out on the weekend and just spending $10 to hang out at the arcade for a little bit was just kind of like, it was a bonding thing, but it was also just, that started the whole dance game thing.
That's so legit.
That's fantastic.
Just for the record, I am going to start the search and talk to all the people that I know in this world. I am going to find one of those metal pads. That's my new mission, because you have to do this on stream. And I think we got to mount the camera to the ceiling above you, so you get the over the top view, and then you'll have the front view.
My actual hope is that that arcades, like, once COVID starts letting up, and arcades start to open up, then I'll be able to set up some sort of more mobile streaming thing and like stream at an arcade, if they let me, that is. But
of course they would. It will promote their arcade.
Yeah, that was like the end goal.
Dream
and of course,
machine.
that only works like as a small streamer. Once you get more fans, then you can't really do that. But then hopefully I can have my own pad. But yeah, that's future stuff. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll happen anytime soon.
Sidebar.
Fit it in my room. I can't fit it in my room either. Like my streaming table already takes up half my room.
Well, you got a basement where you live? Let's go. Basement is the new dance studio.
I have friends that have machines. When COVID lets up, we'll get some of that going for sure. Don't you worry, Marcus.
Oh no, I need to see this. But
It'll
sidebar here. Nick, I want to just say,
yeah.
I don't know what the correct word for this is, but this is so fucking awesome. like Atrax, we would have never known this about you, or the SERP story last week. Like guests on this
It's in
show
my
is
about me.
well, yeah, but we don't read any of that. Like I don't.
I'm just kidding.
I don't.
I know. I'm
No,
just
no,
kidding.
no. But I don't click on that on Twitch because
No,
I can
it's
read your
fair.
about you, but like until I watch you stream and I enjoy your stream, that's when I get to know you.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't
No,
I
I'm
don't
just kidding.
find no, I know. But what I'm saying is like just a sidebar. This is so cool to meet awesome people like yourself week after
Thank
week
you.
after week and like hear these stories. I didn't know this about you. Like this is blowing my mind. I've never met somebody in my entire life that their favorite game is DDR or those type of games.
Yeah.
And this is so fucking awesome for me because it's like I've never. That's
Just
not
like you've never been into that world.
yes.
Like looked into that world.
It's-
That's like
it's not
somebody.
a
That's
very
like somebody
popular
telling me,
thing,
"Hey,
yeah.
well, it is though. If you go to other countries, it's huge." But
That's
It's
true.
huge. It was huge here too.
well, right. But
Not anymore, I guess, but
I bet it is.
Yeah.
And then we just don't know that community. How many people don't like Star Wars?
yeah,
A lot.
a lot. Yeah.
Or people that like before I met my wife, she'd never watched Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now she celebrates May the 4th with us and knows it's a holiday and like decorates the house and all the crafts are that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like she knows parts of the movie and I'm like, oh, you like Star Wars. She goes, no, I don't. Oh, wait, watch this. What? Luke's about to come out.
And she
What?
turns and look.
Oh, nothing. You know what I mean? It's just those little things. So Atrax, thanks. But anyway,
Of course.
Can I just share a sidebar real quick?
yes, I love sidebars.
Are you
I
a-
love sidebars.
Are you aware of how into Guitar Hero I was?
Me?
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, yeah,
not.
I know.
So, well, I used to play basically every single day after school for like 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
I think if
Did you prefer Guitar Hero or Rock Band?
Oh, Guitar Hero for sure. Because
Okay.
the Rock Band controller was just trash, but it was terrible. It was way worse.
It
But
was
I
pretty
think
bad.
Well, it's kind of like Atrax saying that the DDR mat is trash.
yeah, it's
If
like
you're
the
going
same-
to play DDR, you're going to play it with the bar in a metal box.
right. So the only song I couldn't play was "Through the Fire and Flames," but only because I couldn't get past the intro because I couldn't figure out how to like
Tap
get
it.
how to tap it properly. Yeah, but and I could play past the rest of the song besides the intro. Like if you played like the practice mode, which is insane. But I obviously can't do that anymore. But way back when, I actually competed in a Guitar Hero contest and won.
That I
Nice.
knew. But,
Yeah.
dude, why don't you stream Guitar Hero?
I should.
DMCA.
Oh yeah, I might not be able to because
Yeah, but, well, you can. No. So you can
Well,
stream it.
no, the
You
Guitar
just
Hero
can't save
songs
the VOD.
and the songs on Guitar Hero are most of them are remakes of the songs for the game, so you might be okay. But
Yeah.
I don't know
I would look into that for sure, though, before just streaming it. That's why I stopped streaming games like Osu, and I won't stream Rocksmith.
because of the
Well,
songs.
Yeah, but
'Cause,
the way I
I don't wanna worry
understood
about that.
DCMA, right? But the way I understood DCMA, you can do it live, but there can be no VOD.
Yeah, but don't you still get paid for the stream and stuff?
I don't know how that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah,
Well, because
I-
you can get paid.
right.
It's such a gray
Oh.
area.
It-
It's
it
such
could
a
be-
gray area.
It could be
Because
like
you go to
oh,
some streamers, they're still playing Pandora
yeah.
on their stream. You know what I mean? Look at like
Yeah.
you know people are playing versions of the Star Wars music and they're not getting pulled down.
Maybe this is like my Obi-Wan showing. I just don't want to risk it. I find NCS music like everywhere. There's
Yeah.
enough.
Oh, hashtag stream beats.
That's what Marcus uses too.
Oh yeah. Stream
That's all I
beats.
use.
No
that's all I
copyright
use.
sounds is good too.
Well, yeah, that one's good too. But like for me, yep, with the no copyright stuff, what I like about Stream Beats is I use it in iTunes, so that the levels of it are all the same because iTunes uses like the same filter for all the like the gain of the music,
Right.
so it's all the same level. Where when you do no copyright on YouTube and you're streaming it, it's very like you could have it at perfect level for this one YouTube video, but then you go to the next one and it's like blasting. So you have to be prepared to turn down the volume of the new track right away for your stream.
Right.
Do you have Spotify, Marcus?
I do, but I don't pay for Spotify Premium, and I hate commercials.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say Spotify, they released their maybe they have it on iTunes or elsewhere, but No Copyright Sounds makes playlists on Spotify as well.
Oh, I'll
They
look
might
on
do it
iTunes.
on iTunes Music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pay for Apple Music, but
There you
Stream
go.
Beats is free. Anyways, are you a PC or console gamer in your heart?
I would say both. Like honestly, I really even I know there's like the whole Xbox PlayStation war. I just love gaming, man. I would say PC is like the dominant one just because
Master
it's so
race.
well, it's just versatile. You know, I can play like old games via emulators. I can play new games. I can play games with my controller. I can play games with the keyboard. I can, like there's all you can plug in a racing rig as well if you really want to,
Shout out to Joey Feta.
Yeah, or yeah. So
that's my friend.
Really, yeah, it's really versatile, but there's some games that I truly enjoy playing on console. Like for me, even though it's on PC now, I actually still enjoy playing Halo on console. And that's because for me, and I think most people, Halo 3, Halo 2, you played those on console, Xbox with your friends and stuff like that. I love that vibe that I get when I play games like Halo or even Tetris is fine on console. PlayStation has some good exclusives too,
Would you say you prefer the Xbox controller or the PlayStation controller?
I prefer the Xbox controller because of the way the joysticks are oriented. Yeah, I know it's such a debate.
No,
there's
it's not.
so many.
No, it's not.
people-
There's no debate.
No, it's not.
Well,
Having
yeah, I guess
your
that's
two
true.
thumbsticks next to each other is the most uncomfortable thing ever. I got the Astro A400 controller out of PAX.
No, C40.
C40
Yeah.
controller. It was a PlayStation controller back when I had a PlayStation.
Yeah,
I have it.
And Nick has it. And it was movable buttons, so you could move the analog stick because it was a PlayStation controller from like the PlayStation traditional to an Xbox controller. Nick did that, and he said it was way better.
Yeah, it's game changing.
Yeah.
But no, there's
Well-
no contest. The Xbox
Yeah.
controllers just are built better. They feel better. And I'm a
Well-
PlayStation person typically, but
yeah, and I think some people. I think it depends, like on your hands too. Like some people for PlayStation controllers, their hands just fit better around it. I think that the touchpad on the PlayStation controllers is actually really cool. I think Xbox, it'd be cool if they had a touchpad, but I don't know where they'd put it,
Well, what I think, and just to break this down, I think a lot of the PlayStation people that are like, the Xbox controller's terrible, I think they're just fanboys.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And they
Could be,
like,
yeah.
because if they actually played with an Xbox controller for a long period of time and then went back to the PlayStation controller, they'd be like, oh, this thing is garbage.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the new PlayStation 5 controller, other than the thumbsticks, mirrors the size of an Xbox controller.
Yeah, because people prefer that.
My biggest gripe with my PlayStation controllers was that they kept breaking, and so that's why I hated my play. I was like, you kidding me? I went through like 4 controllers, and it wasn't, I was gaming too hard or anything. It was they just wouldn't charge. Like I don't know, for some reason they never charged, but
I really
yeah,
think
they're all good.
I really think the build quality on the PlayStation controllers is overall less. It's just crappier than the Xbox ones too. Even like my Xbox 360 controllers still work from like almost 20 years ago. Like the build quality for Xbox is just better, I think.
Yeah.
I run a you mentioned cut like off or what is it? OEM or no, it's not OEM, like off market or off brand controllers. I rock a Razer Wolverine.
That's what I have.
I think it's tournament edition, the one without the rumble packs. It is awesome.
I'm holding it in my hand right now. It's got
I can
RGB
see-
lights.
I see mine too. Oh, it's such a beautiful controller.
When did you start streaming?
About a year ago. I have to look it up again. But I started like June last year.
Okay. Oh, you're coming up on a year.
Yep.
Let's
coming
go.
up on a
Do
year.
it 12 months.
12-hour stream,
12
1
hours.
year
Well,
anniversary. Stream
you know,
anniversary?
I'm trying to like plan something out. I know I want to do something like big and good. Your 1 year anniversary was awesome, Marcus. That was top tier.
That was epic. Yeah, some jabroni was on a date and kept donating to him.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was weird. Yeah.
Well, it was well. What it was it just showed that's a power move. What I mean is like you're letting your date know that look at if we're going to continue to have
Whatever.
any kind of relationship moving forward, like when things are important to me, I'm going to stop what I'm doing to do it, and that is super. Well, I appreciate the shit out of it, right? But at
Yeah,
the
of
same
course.
time, but anyway, what made you start streaming?
I wanted to do it for like a long time. I guess it's kind of, yeah, it goes into why. I really wanted to. I've always wanted to work in the gaming industry, like just in general. It didn't matter what it was, whether it was like PR or making games or testing games or whatever. I've been able to hold a controller for, you know, how many years now, and it's just a part of my life. So I wanted to keep furthering that. And when COVID kind of started becoming a thing, my job got not outsourced, but they moved across the country. So I'm on the West Coast, they moved it to the East Coast. And they're like, "Hey, if you want to go along." And I just kind of laughed at them. I was like, "Are you kidding me? My, you know, average warehouse worker job, I'm not going to move across the country for that." So I saved up like a bunch of money and stuff, was unemployed for just a little bit, and I decided that's when I'm going to just start creating content. That was what I mainly was focused on and still kind of am, is just creating good content that's associated with gaming. That's kind of why I picked being a variety streamer too, was it left me a little bit more open to being able to just, you know, I'm feeling like this today and I can be hype in the chat if I play this game more so than if I just play something that I've always played. So that, I think that kind of adds to it too, is like why, and I guess it gets into a different question, but that's why I started streaming, is I want to make good gaming content and work in the gaming industry. There's a lot of great people in Twitch too.
Yeah, but why variety streaming?
Yeah, so that's, I kind of mentioned it a little bit too, but it's, I like at completing games. I enjoy completing games. I talked a little bit earlier about like end game, how to me it's like, oh, it's the end of the game, time to move on. I feel, and unfortunately games have gotten so complex that in order to 100% a game, you have to spend 500 hours running around looking for collectibles and this and that. But I remember playing, you know, games like Gears of War or even the Halo campaigns and stuff like that. And at the end, just being like, wow, you know, I had a lot of fun. That was a good time. And then moving on to something else. Kind of like I kind of treat games like movies, you know, it's fun to watch a movie so many times over, but at the same time, I kind of want something new and a little bit different. And just to be able to appreciate, you know, someone worked really hard on this game or that game. And so, wow, this is really fun. I'm enjoying this. And especially for the community, you know, they get to see a bunch of different stuff maybe that they never thought of playing, or that they wouldn't normally play, especially when you really mix it up. I think one of the random successes that kind of surprised me was most recently the Star Wars pinball. So for May the 4th, they had, I don't know if it's still going on, but all the Pinball Effects 3 tables, all the Star Wars tables were on sale. You could get like, I think it was 20, 25, somewhere in there, tables, pinball tables for $20. And
Awesome.
I thought, yeah. And so because I'm a variety streamer and normally I mix it up, I thought, great, I'm just going to start with this like tonight. I'll play, if it really tanks, I'll play it for an hour and I'll switch to something else. But the community loved it. Like one of the other streamers, Hikari Chino, she got in on like competing with me on the scores. One of my community members, Krilo, got in on it. Capedizzle, like a bunch of people came in and started playing these Star Wars pinball tables and like trying to compete with my score and stuff. And we've turned it into a community thing now. It's a lot of fun. So for variety, I think that's one of the reasons, is it's just, you know, these random moments where it's like, oh, hey, this game is really cool. And then everybody gets in on it and has a good time. And then later, you can make VODs from it, or, review games, things like that. There's a lot for me. There's a lot of reason for variety,
And for me, I mostly play SWTOR, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is my community.
Right.
As a variety game streamer, do you find it's harder to build a community when you're constantly switching games?
I think it's just slower. So for me, I've always tried to make it about my content. I know there's a lot of chat-oriented people, but for me, when I was starting out, the first like 5 or 6 months, the only 2 or 3 people that were watching were my friends. And so I had to, for me, I could, I didn't want to talk to them in chat. And the only reason is because I noticed when I would go into some Twitch streams that had like a couple viewers and they just talked about like personal stuff, I felt kind of out of the loop. And so I couldn't engage them more. At least I felt that way, right, as a viewer. And so I thought, well, I don't want my viewers to feel that way. I want them to feel like, hey, I'm tuning in, like I'm flipping through the channels on the TV and, oh, hey, this looks like a good TV show to watch. So for those couple friends, I thought, okay, well, what can I make entertaining to them, or what do I find interesting? And suddenly I noticed after watching my own VODs too, that it was great. Like I could watch my own stuff back and I enjoyed it. And it gave me the freedom to just play whatever I wanted. And being on Twitch, I really focus on making, like, that's what I want to make, is good content. Like I said, flipping through a TV show and you turn on, oh, wow, this is a great show. You're more likely to come back. It doesn't matter, right? Like you think of popular shows that have been lasting for a long time, like cartoons, like Family Guy and stuff. Doesn't matter what's going on in the show. You just know that you're going to enjoy it because it's funny or because you enjoy the anime style or whatever. So that's the type of environment I wanted to like produce, is no matter where you come from, to be able to come in and just enjoy whatever game I'm playing. That was like my main goal, and still is.
Yeah, you are correct when the people come in and they almost look at it as a show, because I do agree. Mm-hmm. I don't even really like, the only TV I watch is if like The Bad Batch. Right now, right. That is the only time I turn on the TV. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or when we watched Mortal Kombat. Right. But other than that, I don't watch TV. I watch Twitch or I watch YouTube. Like if somebody's streaming on YouTube or somebody's streaming on Twitch, that's right. That's my TV show. You know what I mean? And that's where I really appreciate it, because I feel like you were just saying about the Family Guy. You tune into somebody's stream, whoever it may be, your stream, Atrax. I know what I'm getting when I tune in, and I'm not tuning into your channel to watch the game you're playing. I'm tuning in to watch you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where vice versa, let's use me. They may be tuning in to watch me do a nightmare raid. Right?
Right.
Or the people that don't do raiding, they might be there just to watch me and hang out for the show. Same thing with you. That's personally what I like about your stream, is that when I come into your chat or your stream, it's a complete 180 degree difference than mine. And like your stream is so unique and so awesome, because like your personality is the same no matter what game you're playing. But when you're playing certain games, you can see the passion in your eyes. What was the game that they made? They made raids in Final Fantasy 14 based off of. You just finished it. It's like a Ninja Gaiden style game.
Oh, Neo 2.
Yes,
that game was so great.
Yeah, like that. I would have never seen gameplay of that game unless I watched your stream ever in my life.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that content. I enjoyed watching your show, but at the same time, I enjoyed watching you a game that I would never, ever play. Before Nick asks you the next question, because he keeps trying to talk and I keep sidebarring it. Have you ever played a really, really tough game called like Dark Souls?
I have. I decided, so I've played Dark Souls, I've played Sekiro, and I've played Nioh 2. Dark Souls is my least favorite. And I've actually played Bloodborne as well, but I didn't play it on stream because that's on console only.
Right.
Another great game on PlayStation, by the way. Chalk a point for PlayStation for having Bloodborne. I didn't like Dark Souls because it focused more on being slow and like, okay, be patient, wait, dodge. Okay, now's your like window to attack twice. Dodge, regain stamina. Oh, I got hit. Use my Estus flex. Dodge. Like, I didn't like it, felt really slow. Whereas games like Sekiro and Nioh 2, Sekiro especially because you don't have any stamina, was a lot more fast paced and like, okay, attack, deflect, block this, block that. It was just a little bit more exciting, if you will. Dark Souls is fine. The boss fights are amazing and the scenery is great, but like just the slowness of the gameplay, it didn't appeal to me too much.
I can understand that for sure.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, do you have any special moments or one particular stream in particular, or a moment within a stream that really stands out to you throughout your streaming career so far?
I have a lot. Being a variety streamer kind of helps facilitate like just all these crazy and wacky moments that have happened because of streaming and playing SWTOR. Really, I got to be on the Streamer Spotlight Sunday with Chimeri, and that was awesome. And of course, now being able to be here, that's really great too. I've had a great time. Yeah, this is great. As far as my stream wise, I would say when I had my second 12-hour stream to celebrate 250 followers, and I made that Among Us lobby, and it was so much fun. We had Chimeri, Rayu, Misfile, and Rune, Ren, Maddie B, and I had a couple other. Oh no, wait, we rotated out 2 people. That's right. We rotated 2 people out from the community. And it was just, we had so many great moments and so many great times. I'm still editing that 12-hour video. That was great.
Well, and I find that those special moments, for like you're saying about, it's less about the stream and it's more about the people that you're enjoying.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes when you get to know some of these people from Twitch, they become, like almost like a sub family to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you start messaging them. And that's what's so special about the Discords and everything else.
It lets you connect with the folks.
Yes.
I think it's important for like tips for people starting out on streaming. I think it's important to find a group or like just a couple people where you can collaborate with and make content where maybe they're like larger than you, maybe they're smaller than you, but to have that collaboration and be able to share, and you contribute to their content and they contribute to yours as well, and you both like mutually benefit each other. I think that really helps. It helps make your content better, but it also helps you grow, like in the community and whatnot. And being a variety streamer, like streaming a bunch of different games, I've gotten to meet a whole bunch of different people from different communities. So that's another like variety thing too. That's been great.
Nick, are you taking notes?
Yes, actually I am. But because I think I would be streaming different games all the time if I had to guess. But
yeah, and I'm the opposite. I like the consistency for people to know that I'm playing the same game and know that,
yeah, it's good to have a balance of both.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with either version. I could never picture myself doing multiple games because I get stuck in my ways.
Yeah.
Well, I just meant like on Twitch as a platform.
No,
that's
what
it
I
helps
mean.
us all grow.
Well, yeah, and we're all connected. It's crazy. I met you through this person, which but I also met this other person because I watched your stream, not because of their stream. And next thing you know, you go into, somebody else's stream that you would never expect to see me, or I would never expect to see you. And all of a sudden you pop up in their stream. You're like, holy shit, Marcus Marauder or the Atrax Pog. Like, what is going on right now? What are you doing here?
Right.
This is my streamer.
not your streamer. They're my streamer.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. Do you have any what is a goal that you're trying to achieve for your stream channel?
Or series of goals.
Yeah. So I guess like big, broad goals would be to make like quality content, to consistently put out quality content that I can turn kind of into a job, like where I could potentially live off of it, even if it's not like I don't have to like blow up or anything, or maybe just have it lead to a job where I can create content in the gaming community. That's kind of like big term goals. Small term goals. I'm about 150 followers away from 500.
Woo, woo.
So that'll be exciting. We'll have to do something special for that. Of course, there's a year stream, so we'll have to plan that. And then short term, especially, is like being able to edit faster and become a more competent editor and compiler of clips and whatnot. Because what I did for Neo 2 is I did a farewell video, and I would love to do this, especially being a variety streamer, for like every game that I complete or play or stop playing. I did a Neo 2 farewell video where just like to a song from Stream Beats, just played like a bunch of the different clips and kind of a story of all right, well, in the beginning, Neo 2, I sucked, I got killed by everything. And then me, like beating the final boss and whatnot. So kind of that narrative of, oh, you're such a noob, and then, haha, you beat the game. I want to do one with Fallen Order as well, but I'm so overwhelmed with like all the editing tasks. So that's kind of short term, is be able to put out a couple more YouTube videos, at least in a month or so.
Well, we hope that you blow up and you have nothing but success.
Thank you.
Moving forward, of course. So tell everybody where they can find your channel and what is your say this 10 times fast, stream schedule.
Yeah, so you can find me at twitch.tv/A_Atrax. You'll know because it's the A_A. It'll be a nice little gray and blue logo. And I stream Friday to Monday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And I start around 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's one thing I really also need to, another good goal is to like starting on time more. Sometimes I start right on time. Sometimes I start like 10 minutes late. So if you follow, make sure you turn the notifications on.
When you say 7:30 Pacific, so to us East Coasters, so that's 10:30 Eastern for all us East Coasters.
Yep.
Yes.
Tune in to A_Atrax.
And honestly, I think that's a good time. Because I start streaming at like 8:30 Eastern. So for you, it's like the same thing. If I found that the best thing ever for me was my starting soon screen has a timer on it, and it holds me to be on time. You know what I mean?
I have 10
like,
minutes
okay, I know I have a 10-minute clock. That 10-minute clock is going to go to 0. I need to be sitting in front of the screen. Click go live, and you've got 10 minutes, and now it's go time. But
plus, it kind of gives you a good buffer too.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a. What I do is I have like a very basic page, or I guess not super basic, but I have a overlay that I bought from Nerd or Die. That is like a starting screen. I play one song there, and then I switch over to my little intro video that I made.
Which is awesome. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of Working Class Nerds.